Hello guys, I hope you're all doing great. Welcome to another YouTube video, and in this one I'm going to be breaking down exactly how you can increase your show up rate. And for those who don't know me yet, my name is Victor, and last year I was able to generate over $400,000 in revenue with my very own online audience. And yeah, in this video I'm going to be going over a topic which I see a lot of coaches struggle with, which is actually getting their calls to show up at the time they're scheduled for. And I would say this is one of the most demoralizing things in the online coaching space, where you've got a calendar which is stacked with calls, and then you're sitting there, you're expecting the call to come, and then the person doesn't show up, and you're left there wasting your time basically. And then your calendar just gets filled up with empty calls. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys 3 things that you can implement into your business right now, which will help you tackle that issue and which will help you increase your show up rate to at least like 80 to 90%. Okay. And these are the exact same strategies which I implemented into my business to be able to reach those kind of numbers. Because I remember when I first started, my show up rate was terrible. It was at like 40, 50%. And that's because I didn't really have any of these things in place. So yeah, guys, if you are a coach, you are an agency owner, whatever it may be that requires to have calls in the calendar, make sure that you watch the video to the end. Make sure that you apply these 3 things, and I guarantee you your show up rate is going to increase. Okay, so let's dive into it. The very first thing you need to do is optimize your calendar. Okay, so optimize your calendar. There's going to be a few kind of settings that you want to have inside of your Calendly, which will help you automatically just increase that show up rate. So the very first thing is going to be that your invitees can only schedule 4 to 5 days in the future with at least 4 hours of notice. Okay, so I used to have like 7 to 10 days in the future, and what this does is it allows people to book too far ahead. And then, once that day actually comes, a lot of the time they just forget about it, okay? Because they just booked so far ahead. So for us, 4 to 5 days in the future was the perfect number where, you still have enough time to prepare for it, but also they still remember about the call. And we also changed it to 4 hours notice, which basically means that if you send someone the link, they can essentially book a call, from 4 hours from the time which they receive the link. So that way, if you do have any of those, eager, very hot leads that want to jump on a call with you right away, they have the option to do so. And usually those type of leads that literally book a call with you on the same day that you share the link are the ones that are going to be the easiest close, because those are the ones that are the most eager to jump on, and they're the most eager to get help and to solve their problem. Okay, so those are the kind of first key settings which you guys should implement into your calendar settings, just to really maximize that show up rate. And number 2 is don't open your calendar on the weekends. Okay, this could be a controversial one, but I've tested this, across hundreds and thousands of calls, and I've always seen that the show up rate is always low on the weekends, because people, they might have plans or they might be doing other stuff, and even the closing rate is usually low on the weekends because people are just not in that buying frame. People are more in the relaxed frame. They want to chill, they want to have a chat, they want to explore the problems, but they're just not in that frame which is ready to buy, ready to attack, and ready to solve. Okay, so I would recommend don't take any calls on weekends unless you really have to, unless someone literally can't take a call during the week. Then you can of course make special requests, or you can take special exceptions, but for the most part, guys, I would recommend just keep your calendar open Monday to Friday, 4 to 5 days in the future, 4 hours of notice. Those are the settings which I use myself currently, and those are the ones that have really helped me maximize my show up rate. Okay, the call duration, you want to keep 45 minutes with 15-minute buffer time, so that on average every sales call will take around 45, maybe 30, 45 minutes, and then of course you'll have like a 15-minute buffer time in between to give you some time to prepare for the next call. Qualifying questions, you want to have at least 8 to 10 qualifying questions in your calendar. That way you'll be able to quickly cancel unqualified leads and save space on your calendar for the serious leads. So that's going to be super important. You want to actually qualify your leads on the calendar form. Some key things you want to ask, of course, you want to take their contact information, so their name, their email, their phone number. Those are the first 3 kind of non-negotiables, especially the phone number, because you'll be using that later on in the next steps, which I'm going to show you guys. You want to find out about their current occupation, what they're doing. Are they a student? Are they running a business? Are they a beginner? You can ask about their experience level. You can ask about kind of their current income, their desired income, what's stopping them from getting to their desired income. And then also check that they're in a position to be able to invest in themselves. Okay, so those are kind of the key things which I would include in the qualifying questions. And just to top it off as well, I always have a question at the very end, which is the last one, which is usually something to do with, have you watched any of our client results or reviews? And then just let them know where they can find it, whether that's a website, whether that's your highlights, whether that's your post, or whatever it may be. Okay, just make sure that they are actually aware of the results and the credibility that you have, just so once they jump on that call, your job is going to be a lot easier. Okay, so those are some key settings you want to implement. And then the last one is going to be email and text reminders on. Okay, so at the very bottom of your settings in calendar, you will see the notifications and workflow tab. And then over there, you want to make sure that you have email and text on, both of them. And I would recommend to have reminders on 24 hours, 3 hours, and then 15 minutes before the call. That's kind of like a nice balance that will just make sure that they're getting reminders towards the call, so that they remember that it's actually there. Okay, so that's the very first step to maximize your show up rate, is just to apply these key settings into your calendar link just to really optimize for show up. And then moving on to number 2, which is going to be a post booking page. Okay, a post booking page can be something very simple like this. Congratulations, your appointment has been booked. I sent you a confirmation of your course time and date via email and text. Please make sure that you have put it in your calendar right now. Okay, so instead of them getting redirected to the classic Calendly thank you page, you want to actually go into your calendar settings, and then at the very bottom of the options, you'll see something called confirmation page. And then after booking, instead of displaying the classic Calendly thank you page, you want to redirect to an external site. And then you want to actually paste your very own post booking page link in there instead, so that as soon as someone books a call, they will get redirected straight into this page. And in this page here, you have the title, like you can see, and then you want to basically just create a quick 2-minute video which just explains what they need to do before they jump on a call. Okay, so you guys can see over here, I've got confirm the call, no ghosting please. If you need to reschedule, let us know. All business partners present, so if they have a business partner, they'll bring them on so you're not wasting your time. Focus, so that they know that they need to actually take the call in like a quiet environment where they can concentrate, and not while they're walking around, or not while they're in the car. So you can really maximize the show up rate plus your closing rate. And then also your social proof, so make sure that they are aware of the kind of value that you can bring to the table before they jump on that call. That's not only going to increase the show up rate because they're going to be a lot more excited. They can see that the person they're jumping on call with can actually genuinely help them, but also it's going to help you increase your closing rate as well, because that person that's jumping on the call is going to already know exactly what you can do for them. Okay, and it's not going to take that long to sell them or convince them or persuade them, but they'll already be pre-sold just by having the right pre-booking process. Okay, so this is very important, to have a post-booking page like this, quick 2-minute video explaining kind of what they need to do before they jump on that call. And like I said, once again, it will just increase that show up rate, and it will increase the closing rate as well, because they already know what they can expect before jumping on. So that's the second step, include a post booking page. And then the third and final step is going to be a post booking nurturing sequence. Okay, so after you actually book the prospect into a call, you need to continue having normal conversation with them. Okay, so I want you guys to imagine that you're texting a girl. Okay, you're texting a girl for a couple of weeks, it's going well, everything's going smoothly, and then you drop the big question to ask her out for a date. Okay, she agrees on the date, and then you lock in the date and time, but the date is next week. And then from that time that you secured the date to the time the date happens, you just go complete ghost mode, right? Imagine how that girl's gonna feel. She's gonna be like, okay, what's this guy doing? Like, you want to carry on a conversation. And same with the prospects, guys. Same with the prospects. Once you drop the calendar link, don't just go full ghost mode and just wait for them on the call. You need to keep nurturing them. You need to keep conversating with them to make sure that they know that you're actually genuinely interested in helping them. Okay, so you can start off with some small talk. How the day has been, how life is in the country, what they have been up to, or any other conversation starters that might be custom towards them. Maybe some hobbies that they have as well. Maybe some like sporting event that happened. Did you watch the football today, or did you watch the UFC, for example? Any random small talk that would just show them that you're a real human that wants to genuinely connect with them. Okay, and after you spark a genuine conversation, you need to make sure that they have watched that post booking video. So after you've done a bit of small talk, you've caught up with them, making sure they're all good, you want to just drop a little message like this. Oh, and by the way, have you had the chance to watch the post booking video yet? Okay, and that will basically just remind them to make sure they watch the video before they jump on the call, so that they have the highest chance of showing up to the call, number one, and then also they are in the highest buying frame possible as well. And like I said, guys, this just helps build a lot more trust and positions them in that buying frame for when they jump on that call with you. And this will also help you increase your closing rate as well as your show up rate. Okay, so super important. I want you guys to apply these 3 things into your show up process, and I guarantee that your show up rate is going to increase. And if you are an existing coach, or you're a creator that's looking to monetize the audience with high ticket, and you want more of my help to really scale your coaching business, then feel free to click the link below, where I'll basically go through a quick video explaining exactly how we can do this on a completely pay on results basis, so you don't pay unless we help you scale. If you're interested, then click the link below. If not, then all good. Just drop a little like, drop a subscribe, and I can keep sharing free value for you guys over here. So yeah, with all of that being said, take care, guys. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye.